to get as high as you can in one go. You have 1 hour maximum to do it, and that's pretty much it. But there's a lot of mechanics. You can have a pet with you. The game will give you one, the one you can see in the cover of the game, or when the now loading screen is. It's called CUNY, and it's going to try to help you do stuff. It's not necessarily the best monster in the game, not the worst, but it'll help you survive for quite a long time. Losing CUNY is a big deal.
Yeah. And looks like Professor Palmer didn't start his timer. It's fine. Let's go by fees.
Yeah.
So yeah, full featureitis. She has quite a history with this game. She's played it for roughly 7 to 8 years on and off, but eventually took a break after her file got soft locked, unfortunately. And she lost her equipment. And Professor Palmer is going in semi-blind?
Yeah, he's tried it once.
Yes. I think that was yesterday, actually, so...
Yeah.
But the thing is, he picked it up really quickly, so I'm really curious what's going to come from this.
Yeah, he actually did pretty good. He got to floor 10 at his best, which is quite high for somebody who'd never tried the game. I think we have not talked about the fact that this game is kind of hard.
Yes, this game is very, very, very unforgiving, and most casual players, or even like who grew up with the game, that probably haven't beat the game. On some cases, like it's actually incredibly difficult to get to floor 40, and each round is set to an hour, so we're not here all day. If someone wants to, we'll say cheese the floors. There's certain ways to get up on higher floors and stuff like that.
Yes. But even then, the game has been made to be explored in a few runs. Generally, what you would do is go probably to floor 5 or 6, and then use an item called the Wind Crystal to go out with your stuff.
Yeah.
Or 9 the next time, and maybe 11, and then 13, and then you'd meet Kraken and die. But
Kraken. When people get in front of Krakens, we'll explain all the monsters and everything as well.
Exactly, but you should go into increments and try to get higher each and every time. But this is going to be way tougher. The game's difficulty spikes really hard. Every 3 floors you get a bunch of enemies that are 10 times stronger as the monster you just fight, and you don't... Like, the first level ups will give Ko a lot of HP so he can tank more, but the more he levels up, the less HP he gets per level up, and the less level up are relevant. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough ride. We'll see how people can manage, but also there's one thing that is important. The items you get in the tower, most of them are pretty powerful, and getting good items is definitely the way to go.
Everything's random though.
Yeah, exactly. The game is 100% randomized, so except the first floor. The first floor is tutorial floor. It's going to always be the same. You'll get a copper sword, which is worth 2 attack. You'll get a wood shield, which is worth 2 defense. You're going to get a fireball, which can shoot fire 5 times. And you're going to get an egg, which you can do a little bit of things from it. You can hatch it to get a pet, a very weak one though, which is called a Balumpa. You can use it and throw it as a grenade, so it's going to do quite a bit of damage.
I think it is roughly 60 when you're about level 5, so it does a lot. Judged by things only have like 20 to 40 health for the first chunk of the tower.
Exactly, it's pretty powerful, and the last usage you can do with an egg, any of them, is feed it to a live pet, and it's going to recover some MP. And a pet without MP cannot act anymore, is going to fall asleep forever until you feed him something else. So it can be very useful to keep it as a MP battery or something like that. And the last item there's on floor 1 is a medicinal herb, and the medicinal herb will recover a certain amount of HP, so the higher level you are, I think it gives more HP.
Yeah. I think it caps out around 40, but it's still a lot of HP.
Yeah. So these are the items they know they'll get. Apart from that, then it'll become absolutely randomized. You deal with what you get, and it's going to be complicated, let's be honest. Since this game cannot be seeded, sadly, they won't play the same tower. So to alleviate the fact that this game is heavily RNG, this is going to be a best of 3. So you guys are going to have at least 2 matches tonight, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Let's hope we see 1 victory on each side first.
Yeah, and as you can see, everyone's going through the tutorial. It takes roughly 4 to 5 minutes to get through to the first floor. Quinny sure loves to talk. He loves to talk so much. To the
Yes.
point where sometimes when you're doing floor 1 to 10 runs, you just send him home.
Yeah,
It
it's
saves you 2 minutes.
yeah.
But the
That
runners
2
here are
minutes
gonna
is
want-
big. Yeah.
Yeah, but the runners here are going to want to have Queenie because I highly doubt they'll be able to get past floor 6 by just Ko's strength alone.
Exactly. The pet definitely helps you a lot. What the technique they're using right now is called mixture magic. It's if your pet has got a spell, like CUNY has one, it's called Brid, which is a fireballs type of spell. You can you can ask him to cast a spell on your sword instead. So it costs way less magic, and it's pretty hard. But also, but it takes both your turns to do that attack. But it's a pretty good strategy to go in the beginning of the game. Doesn't cost too much MP, and it's pretty hard. So mostly, unless something else happened, they should go by that strategy for quite a long time.
Yeah, and basically, like we said, is like once Palmer's going up to floor 2 now. At this point, everything is now different. The full Futritis will not have the same floor. So you can see as it loads in, you can see it spiral in. Ooh, Palmer's lucky, he's right beside the elevator, but at the same time, he's now going to floor 3 at level 1. You kind of want to grind a few levels.
Yes, okay, he's taking huge risk, but that's the Palmer I know. This guy's gonna try and check what will happen. And yeah, he's gonna level up from this flame if he can beat it, so that's alright.
And it looks like Fee is already encountering a noise right when she went up as well. And
oh damn! He's gonna get hit by the sled. That's gonna be a problem. He needs to use a fireball or something.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, all the monsters you fight in the tower are incredibly strong, except for the Plumpa. The Plumpa is probably the only free one. You can see Fee's taking a troll, leveling up on the left. Professor Palmer I think he had to use his medicinal herb already, right? And Queenie's dead.
And Queenie's dead.
All right, so Professor Palmer's going to show us the true strength of going solo.
That was strategy all along, right?
Yeah. So basically, when Queenie dies, you're going to have to hatch the Plumpa egg.
Probably.
Or yeah. So basically, the main thing we're looking for, actually, when you're doing these runs, is actually a wand, because a wand powers up mixture magic. If you get a Scarlet wand, it's even better.
Yes.
And
Palmer doesn't look for a 1 right now, though.
No, I think he's going for experience right now and trying to buffer. And Fee's currently... oh, she's going up. I thought she was going to try to refill her HP there.
Yeah. Oh, you might want to go to Palumpa way now. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think he's going to be hatching the Plumpa. You can hatch any monster that you find in the tower, but the thing is they won't come back with you. But during these runs, that's not an issue because the second you use a Wing Crystal, a Lean Fruit, or if you die, you will be leaving. So Palmer's going to gamble on Palumpa.
Yes.
But the thing is, he actually can revive Queenie if he finds a Restore Scroll as well.
Yes. So he needs to remember to give the AI 4. Oh, I think he's gonna remember. Oh no, he used a 1.
Yeah.
Okay, only AI 4 or AI 5 will let the Palumpa fight for you, and the 5 will make it so aggressive that it will go and get killed. Also,
yeah.
Also, the Palumpa monster is really weak. Yeah, Palumpa is super weak, so you really can't use that pet. You need to protect it, like with your own health. So it's a plus, but yeah, it's a pretty weak monster. Just to give you an idea. Yeah, sorry, go on.
You can see by Fee's screen that the entire screen got flipped upside down. We actually haven't gone into traps. A couple of them already hit quite a few traps. There's the reversal traps, there's upheaval traps, go up traps, which act as elevators. There's bombs, there's all sorts of things that could screw with you. And actually, during Fee's practice run yesterday, she was doing great, had a great monster, and hit a sleep trap right in front of the elevator, and her great monster got murdered right in front of her.
Yeah, well, right now she's a frog, so it's not necessarily better.
Yeah, I think she's more or less debating how to get out of this situation.
Yes.
Queenie is going to do his best. Thankfully, it is fire versus wind. Each of the monsters are assigned one of 3 types, or genuses. Queenie is fire elemental, and the cyclone, which Queenie is currently attacking, is wind. So she actually has a type of Pokemon. And there you go. So
Okay, she's gonna get out of this. Palmer also
Yep.
used the change AI to get this Palumpa out of trouble, and this was actually really well played from a player who learned about the game yesterday. I'm quite impressed. Like changing AI in midst of battle, that's not the thing you can see from new player most of the time.
no, it's something that you don't see a lot of. And also, we should explain as well. Every floor is randomly generated. It's procedurally generated.
Yes.
But when the floor loads in, you can see it spiral down to you. You can use that opportunity to try to spy where the elevator or an egg is on the floor.
Yes.
Or shields or anything else of interest.
That is something that might not seem as relevant for the speedrun in itself, but people are debating it in the chat. How do you pronounce CUNY? Well,
every way.
every way is accepted. In our community, when we first gathered, everybody was pronouncing it a different way. There's like 7 different ways of pronouncing this, and we were kind of fighting in the beginning and deciding how it was to be pronounced, and everybody just decided that every way are accepted. Call it whatever you like. CUNY, CUNE, CUNE,
yeah,
Kyun, we don't care. Like, call it whatever.
Yeah, there's a really. I think his Kun is technically the more correct version.
Yeah, I think it is too,
but everyone calls it something different. And actually, Fee came across a Manova, and a Manova, every time you hit it, has a chance of multiplying. But the multiply versions are actually not really that threatening. They do 1 damage, but the thing is, when you're such a low level, and as you can see, she has 7 HP off right now, that's kind of scary. So I think she'll be using her medicinal herb, she'll get buffed up again, and all those little Manovas running around, they're all gonna die to hit. They get on the percentage.
Yeah, but the other problem with Manivas is, like you said, there's a triangle, an elemental triangle, as in Pokemon. So if you know your 3 starters color, it's the same setup. So red beats green, red beats green, green beats blue, and blue beats red. So the problem is, she's using Fire Mixer magic, which is super powerful, but it gets a very big decrease in damage when fighting against a water monster. And Maniva is the first actually dangerous water monster in the tower. There's gonna be way more of them if they get to that. But yeah, Maniva is your first time you say like, oh my god, okay, I don't do any more damage, and this is a problem. This is still the best way to go. Fighting would still be weaker than doing all that, but yeah, you're gonna get counterattack for quite a lot of damage.
Yep, and we just saw Fee use the egg bomb.
Yeah.
We threw the Palumpa, so she can't catch it.
No, but she got a medicinal herb though, so she might get out of this. Oh, and Palmer's got a second one. Damn, that's good.
Yeah. So every time you see them pick up a wind crystal, just think of it like a little small sadness sound happening in their heads. They don't want those. Those take up inventory space. They don't do anything. If you throw them at enemies, they do 1 damage. They're useless.
Yes, exactly.
In a proper run, if you do bookless or if you play a game casually, you really want to find wind crystals in abundance.
Yeah. That lets you get out of the tower. Yeah, they get you out of the tower, but you can keep your gear, which normally you don't. Also, people are talking about that in the chat, so we might get out on this. It's not going to be necessarily relevant right now, but when you leave the tower in a casual playthrough or in bookless percent of the speedrun, cows get back to level 1, but your pet don't. So the real way to level up in this game is to level up your pets, which keeps their level, and to increase, refine your weapons and shield, which will keep their upgrades once you go back into the tower. But Co's level always reset to 1, so yeah, this is a really interesting way to build a roguelike, and it works really well.
Yes, and everyone who's played this game growing up loves this game. But people who've played this game don't know of anyone else who plays this game.
That was a fact for quite a few years, but it's not true anymore, luckily.
Yeah, since about a month and a half, 2 months ago, it exploded in popularity. It looks like Fee's going to be trying to fight the Manova. I think, she's still with the Witch Shield, isn't she? It looks like, nope, she's giving up with the Manova and going up to floor 7. So I'm writing down the times here because...
Oh, we have it. All right, that's it. That's the end. Palmer just died and gives the first point to Full Feateritis.
So we got 1 point for Full Feateritis.
We have our first match.
Yep. So basically, so they'll reset the game, and we'll go back to the main menu. We'll see the intro again, but we'll start round 2 now.
Yes.
Two,
All right. Oh, we should tell.
Can you? I have tablet.
Sure.
Or if need be, I could always just run upstairs. So.
All right. Oh yeah, these matches might be extremely long, but most probably really, really short. Like, even the most experienced player I know, they happen to die once in a while on floor 6 or 7. So pretty much where Professor Pommel died. And he played extremely well. I was quite impressed, like, considering the fact that 2 days ago he didn't know what the game looked like. This is actually pretty good.
Honestly, okay, so we should really, really press this. If you play this game casually, you are not going to get past probably floor 7 on your first go, or floor 5.
Oh, yeah, and even then, maybe 5,
Yeah, well, at that point, like you can see on Fee's screen, we're trying to contact her, tell her that she's won. I think with stream delay, it's going to take a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see here if I can message her as well here.
All right. So yeah, it'll give people a chance to reset and set up again.
There we go. Yeah, she's playing to win right now, so I think with the streamer mode on, she can't hear the pings from
probably
the Discord.
Can you just make sure that she reset and I'll cover?
Yeah, I will be right back.
Thank you very much.
This is quite convenient right now. I'll be right back.
Yep. All right. So I think you guys have seen what it can be and how deadly it can be. I mean, from what I've seen, Professor Palmer played pretty much every item he had in his inventory. He used all of them. He played really well. He cut corners. He fought the battle he needed to fight. He dodged the battle he could dodge. And he still died on floor, 6, I think it was. So this game is brutal. And you do learn few stuff by playing a lot. You do get better at it. But at the end of the day, sometimes you're just dealt such bad ends of cards that you will die very early. So that's why this setup in the tournaments is really interesting, because you can see how people adapt to any type of situations, and this is what I really like about that. And yeah, casually, you do have also to build your the town. You can rebuild the town, improve your house, improve your monster hut, build a casino, a temple, a library. That's really fun. And there is also, there's also a dating sims in this game, where there's a lot of, you can see all of them in the overlay. There's a few girls you can date, and you start by being the poorest family in town, and going to the tower, you can become the richest, and that's really cool. That's a really fun game casually. But speedrunning it, I have to admit, this is definitely what made me play the game again more than I used to. So speedrun is a lot of fun. I think both our runners are going to be resetted. So we can do...
Yeah, so I can't confirm it was with Discord streamer mode being on.
Well, there we go. All right, as long as everything is working now, so that's cool. We can set up for match 2. So is everybody ready for match 2?
Should be. I will...
do you think she'll check for the... I think Kirito's going to do a countdown.
Yeah, make sure everyone is aware.
Yep. Okay, everything seems to be all right. Everybody is ready for match 2. Good. Let's do a countdown. Kirito, do you take care of it, or I do? All right. So yeah, Palmer has made a promise that he will get Ire this time, so I can wait to see if he can hit floor 7. But it's going to be a tough one. Everybody seems to be ready. We'll jump into next match. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Thankfully, the demo didn't load up just there too. That's actually quite an annoying thing when you're trying to start a run.
Oh yeah, but you can do up and down during the menu to prevent that. So that's why
Yeah.
people aren't really doing.
I tend to forget.
Yes. Oh, I forget all the time too. But I hope I won't during the 1p to 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So can't wait to see the game start. Is there? Didn't. Oh, maybe there. Okay, it started. All right.
It's a stream delay, I guess.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a delay there. Okay, so we're gonna do the introduction again. We'll let them check the game, but during that time, is there any other thing that you want to discuss? Maybe explain a little bit of the few first monster we'll see during this tower run.
Yeah, absolutely. So Palmer forgot his timer again.
Yep.
But that's fine. Again, we'll go based on feet. It looks like they start at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the first 3 floors normally are, excuse me, a little bit of a tutorial. The worst thing you're going to encounter is something called a flame, and it's on fire. It's pretty easy to identify. Normally, when you play this game, you want to find trolls and cyclones. Those are the ones that give you the most experience for the least amount of effort. You could come across those as your first monster, like Palmer did in his first run, a flame. Things can go wrong very quickly. And that's where you start relying on the fire orb and things like that.
Yes, the flame doesn't really hit that hard and don't have that much amount of HP, but it has a spell. And its spell, it's for twice the damage it would do with a normal attack or around so. Which could mean Palmer took in the face, it was 8 points of damage. And on level 1, you have 16, so that's half your health in one shot. You will probably need 3 to 4 hits to kill the flame, so even if it doesn't cast a spell in a pure just duel with your pet, you're gonna lose, or you might. So if it casts a spell, that might mean an early death. We've seen the Manuva. I think we've talked a little bit about it. But then where we can talk about the next one, which is going to be the Bloom. And the Bloom is a big green thing with a flower as a face. It seems pretty cute, but it's pretty dangerous. This thing tank like crazy. It has a lot of HP, pretty good defense. It has okay attack power, but the problem is it will take you so long that it will counter like maybe 3 or 4 times, and it'll deal a lot of damage at the end of the day. And of course, it is a problem because it is water. Yeah. So that might be a problem.
Yeah, there's okay. I see people talking about load times in the chat, and actually, that's actually a thing which actually is inconsistent. Full Feature Artist is playing on the PS3. I do believe Professor Palmer, if it's hardware, is playing on the PS2. And there's a huge load time difference between them, because when me and Sand were racing, you were like 20 seconds ahead of me.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Points.
Yep.
Before we got in the tower, and it's like, oh, okay. So yeah, there's some different load times, and PS2 seems to run it the best.
Yes, by far. With the fast disk loading speed, it's pretty quick. But it might be on emulator too, and also emulator is pretty quick. So yeah.
Yeah. It looks like Palmer's having a little bit of problems figuring out a name for the game. Zed. Okay, he's cleared it. So yeah, you can name Queenie. It doesn't really matter these types of runs. If you want to name him, I know one of our runners, Dadaris, names him Butts a lot.
Oh yeah, we'll pretty much everybody's gonna rename it. Like maybe not everybody, but more than half.
Yeah,
and we all have love name for Queenie and Ko, the main character.
Yeah, I tend to name him after. Spoilers. I just named him Beldo. If you know what that means, then there you go. We'll just leave it at that. But we actually can talk about the composition of the tower, because there actually is some patterns to recognize.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So basically, the first floor that you're going to encounter is you're going to find relatively equal monsters, water, wind, and fire. So the floor. After that, once you get to floor 5 and 6, you're going to see a heavy leaning towards water monsters.
Yes.
And that goes on to about floor, I think, 8, and then
It's
9.
9.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. But then floor 9 is when the fire floors kick in.
Yes.
And then from floors 9 to 13 are the fire floors, and 14 and 15 are really, really heavy water and wind.
Yes.
And
there's actually never a moment where it's all wind, like you feel it's heavy on wind. Like the wind monsters are spread out almost all the time, and they're not really that strong, but they all have some kind of crowd control, bad status, or thing they can do to you. So generally they are the weakest monster, but they can be also run-enders.
Yeah. And basically what it comes down to it is you're never really safe.
Oh yeah, no.
Like the Plumpa egg, if you manage to get to floor 12, you can find a blue collar. And if you were to hatch the Plumpa, you can fuse it with Queenie to turn them into water. Or you can find something called a sea seed. Or likewise, if you find a wind seed or a light seed for fire, or sorry, for wind, fire perspective. Because of that, it's actually pretty. It's pretty inconsistent. Like I find better success turning Queenie into water,
and use it as a fighting machine. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to use the physical aspect of attacks. I use AI manipulation, and I think you tend to stick with. Oh no, you use both, don't you? Use AI and mixture magic, don't you?
I switch to what's best each and every time. Yes.
Yeah,
and I use generally one-time shot, one-time command with the R2 button.
And actually, we can actually specify as well. You actually do quick commands by holding down R2 to command the red color and L2 to command the blue color when you have it. You have 2 monsters out. And it does save a lot of time. The menus aren't too slow, and they're not too bad. So...
No, menu are super responsive in this game. They'll go as fast as you can go.
Sometimes a little bit too fast.
Yes, that might happen. But like Shawnee said, when you press R2, you can get into a shortcut menu where you have access to every command you can give to your pet. So you could ask him to move 1 square in any direction, attack in front of him, cast a spell or anything by pressing a combination of buttons. And you might see more of this with other runners. Some of them like to do that, some don't. But I do use that strategy a lot. I will command my monster to just move once or attack an empty square where the monster I think will go. And this is a very cool thing to see in action because it goes so quickly when it's well made. But don't make a mistake or your pet will just move into combat and just get killed.
Yeah, and also as you can see, both racers have been kind of turning the camera as well. The preference thing, you can also change the UI on above. You can see the difference between these, or full feature items to the stream and public streaming.
Yes.
It's based on if you hold triangle push R1, I believe. R2, I think, changes the map.
Yes, it's triangle.
Triangle
R1, yes.
L1 changes the zoom of your character. And I do believe full feature artist actually did pick up a wand, but is not using it. So I think she's... but it was a golf wand. I don't know if that actually affects the fire.
It does, but by so little. It's weaker than a wood one at that point. So, yeah. And so I wouldn't even equip a wooden one. So I think that's the right play. If she's found a golf one, I wouldn't have tried to equip it. There's always a danger playing this kind of runs, and this is curses. When you find an equipment, a shield or a sword or a wand, you can try and equip it, but the name is going to be green, and it means that it's unidentified. And if you're lucky, it could be, let's say, a steel shield +1, or even a steel shield +2, which will give you that amount of extra defense. So steel shield +2 would give you 8 defense instead of 6, so that'd be great. But it could also be just normal, or -1 and cursed. And if it's -1 and cursed, then it's worth 1 less defense than it should, but also it means that you can't unequip it. And there's an item in the game that's called the Curse Scroll that will let you uncurse an item. But
you'll never find it when you want it.
And you never find it when you want it. So risking to equip an equipment that is just a little bit better than your copper sword or your wooden shield is generally not a good idea. Like, let's say you find a iron shield that's worth, not an iron. Which one's worth 3? It's copper? Copper shield's worth 3 defense.
Yeah, copper, yeah.
It's worth only 1 more than the wooden shield. Let's say if it happens to be cursed, then it's going to be worth 2, like the wooden shield. and you won't be able to unequip it. So it's going to be worse than just having the wooden shield. Yeah, you could be lucky and get a copper +2, which would be really great. But I don't think you want to try that in a tournament setting.
Also, I just want to point out, I have never seen Flames use so many sleds.
That's crazy, right?
That people have been practicing recently, and it's normally not that common for them to be right up to you and use their spells. Normally they're a little bit more reserved, but looks like Phil Feature just got a wooden wand, and she's debating between. Nope, not going to equip either of them. She's going to stick with the sword.
Still think that's the right play to do.
Do you want to explain why wands are better?
Sure. Oh, do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. When you equip a sword, it's going to give you X amount of attack. So a sword might be worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even more sometimes with the legendary swords. But the wands are all worth 1 attack damage, so it's not really good for attacking. But they're going to give you an increase in percentage in mixed magic. So the strategy they're both using right now, a wand generally will increase your mixed magic by 25%, which is quite a lot. But it's going to have an extra amount if you have a corresponding elemental wand. So if you use, poor Palmer, which got a cursed stream wand, that's going to lower his attack power quite a bit. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So,
unless he transforms Queenie into
a water monster. Yeah, that might be the play, but I don't think it is.
No, but he's going to have a little bit of a hindrance for now, so that's unfortunate. So
there's a wand called the Scarlet Wand, and this is the items you want to see. This is super good. It gives you the extra 25% damage for mixed magic, but an extra 25% if the mixed magic is fire. And this is such an increase in damage. For the all-around, this is the golden weapon. As long as you have Cuny with you or any fire caster monster, this is the weapon you want to see.
Actually, Full Feature is showcasing off. She's staying at the exit and getting HP by waiting turns.
Yes.
And so he's happy to take out a couple monsters on the time, like get some extra experience. So she's playing it safe right now. Queen's gonna lock up and attack if she does something. There you go.
Yeah, so Palmer got hit by the worst trap in the game. Might not be true, but in my opinion it is. It's called the warp trap, so either you or your pet is gonna step on that trap. And he might be lucky on this one though.
Yeah.
There he goes. Is Cuny still alive?
I think
it is. Damn, you lucky bastard. That's good. Good job, Palmer. So the warp trap will teleport randomly the one who steps on it somewhere else on the floor. And you'll have to deal with the fact that now you're alone. If you've put all your eggs in the same basket by having the Scarlet one, which is a super weak weapon, but increased mixed magic, well, if you don't have a pet anymore, you know what? That's the most useless weapon in the game. Yeah. So that's really
especially
rough to lose your
creatures.
pet. Yes, exactly. So you really want to make sure that you don't hit these warp traps, but since traps are invisible, well, you deal with what happens. There's an item called the Familiar Bell, and if you find it, it will teleport your pet back to you no matter where it is. So that's the item you'll need to find to make sure you don't die from these traps. But also there's one more strategy, and that's the one Palmer used right now. If you change floor while you have while your pet is away, no matter where he is, it'll be called back to you. So that there's also that.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, so yeah, I think he's grinding for EXP. Okay, yeah, that's what he is doing. As soon as he saw a monster, he just changed floor. Alright.
Yeah, he's I think he's weighing his options there, because he's being stuck with the stream wand is something you really don't want. Like, you want the benefit of having the mixture magic, but you don't want to have you don't want to be stuck with something that you're gonna regret.
Yes.
And unfortunately, when you hatch the Plumpa doesn't have a spell. And do you want to explain how spells level up?
Oh, sure, yes. Okay, the spells got an innate element. So, Brid is a fire spell. If you change Cuny to water, then the spell will become a water spell. It's going to be called, I think it's Nia Brid?
Yeah, Nia is water.
Yeah, Nia is water. So it's going to add the Nia prefix before it. Means it's water. So the spell will deal water damage, which might be good, but sadly the spell will never level up anymore for as long as CUNY is a water monster. A spell can only level up when it's in its innate element. So a water spell can be changed to fire or can be changed to water, to wind, sorry, but it will not level up if it's not in its innate element. So changing CUNY to water might work. It'll make a spell water, and then the Stream Wong will be good again. But that means that this spell will stay at the level you change CUNY. So it won't spike up, it won't become better. And that might be a bad thing in the long run.
Mm-hmm. And you can see Fee keeps picking up Queenie and putting him down. And that's basically because some monsters can be lifted. Some are too heavy, and some float like cyclones, so you can't pick them up. But there is a strategy where you just pick up a monster and huck it as far as you can away from you. And hopefully it doesn't... There's a 50-50% chance you can successfully pick it up.
Yes.
And if you fail, you might die. But if you succeed, you can survive for probably 8 or 9 more turns before it comes back at you.
Yes, so picking up a monster, like Shawnee said, is a 50-50. So you have half a chance to get the monster in your hands, and if it's an enemy, the other half will just fall back from your hands and get a turn. So that might be extremely dangerous, but like you said, sometime the next hit's gonna kill you, so might as well try it. But some monsters are too heavy to be picked up. You've seen a Bloom on Full Fideritis stream. Blooms are too heavy to be picked up, so you have to deal with them. But trolls, the ones you can see on Professor Palmer's side, you can pick them up and throw them away or just bring them with you. As long as they're in your hands, they cannot do anything. But sadly, it also means that you cannot do anything yourself neither. So you have to lose a turn putting it down, and it will attack you.
Yeah, it looks like Full Fideritis is having a lot of blooms come up to her all of a sudden.
Yes. And she has to use her Fireball, which deal way less damage to water monster, and blooms are all water. So this is very sad. She's going to use 2 charges per blooms, which is a lot of resources spent just to survive.
They just keep coming.
Yes. I think she had the idea for a sec to use the Light Seed to turn the monster into fire and use 1 less charge. But yeah, she decided against that. That'd have been a good idea, though.
I think she's debating just getting rid of the one in front and just kind of dealing with the other ones eventually.
Yes.
Because she's the way the camera turns, you can see how the players are kind of thinking about certain things. And
it's like the hamster in the wheel.
Yeah, it's you can tell. Why not use a fire crystal? The fire crystal takes up 1 turn. It doesn't give you experience when it kills things, and she might think that there's an egg there. She might think that she's getting close to the elevator and might want to save it for another floor. Because fire crystals are really OP for the first 10 floors. They can pretty much kill everything.
Yeah.
And, sorry, to answer someone else's comment I saw, there actually is a chance we actually might get to floor 40 in this tournament. It has happened, I think, 3 times in practice runs with people, Sand Knight being 2 of them.
I have been 3, Dadarsis 1 or 2, and Captain Ouija 1, so we're closer to 6.
Yep. Yeah, so I've been knocked off the top 3 for that for 80% now because of the tournament practice.
Yep.
It is entirely possible. Someone will get to floor 40. And if that happens during the tournament, it will be nothing but this excitement because it is remarkable on how... looks like Fee's using the poison on
It just thrown CUNY away, which might have been the play there.
She wants to make sure he stays alive and away from the water monster, which is really, really smart. And the more you move away, the blue's going to take damage every single time. And this is actually one of my weird strategies I've taught her, is the poison ball is actually really overpowered in long hallways.
Yes.
Or so in rooms. And you can see by the mini-map, we should explain as well, there's little green boxes with red and yellow and whatever on the right-hand side of those screens.
Yes,
every red dot is an enemy, including potentially Queenie, because...
Yeah, it's a monster, it's not an enemy, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, like, she's fighting for her life right now, and Queenie's life right now, so that's good. Queenie can't be brainwashed, it's a special trait, so that's at least a good thing there.
Oh, I think she want to fight for the sleep ball. Oh, she cannot even go to the elevator right now. She will have to fight.
That's
Can she even drop CUNY? I think she might have to throw it. At the bloom.
She might have to throw it outside the room.
No, I think she can throw it at the bloom and it'll end up at the behind it, at least.
Well, the thing is, I think it's also very low HP, so she's definitely weighing her options here. It's a 21 HP, it briefly showed. So you can take a couple hits, so...
So do you want to, at that point, do you really want to risk the egg bomb there? Might be a good monster in there.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know, like, hatching really might... like, if Queenie were to go, he gets about 2 more hits from the looks of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, CUNY brainwash, that's a good thing. Like Shawnee said, CUNY is immune to being brainwashed. And brainwash is really bad. It means that the monster change team and it'll fight against you. Deal with that in your casual playthrough and see your monster on level 40 that kicks your ass on floor 7. Yeah, that's not good. But,
yeah, if you have a level 28 monster in your inventory and all of a sudden just randomly gets brainwashed because you mistimed something, you are running for your life. There's nothing that's going to stop.
I think we might have the end of our race here. Professor Palmer's getting his end kicks. Oh, I think he's going to try to eat up the egg. No. Alright. Oh, he's at 1 HP. That's not so bad. Can't deal with it. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, it looks like it might be the end for...
Oh, yeah, it is.
Race.
Blam, and he gets kicked. That wasn't so bad at all. Damn, that was a race. Congratulations to Full Fitteritis for the victory on this very first match of the Rock Me to the Top tournament for Azure Dreams.
Yeah. This is why we have so much time dedicated per run, because we don't know how these runs will go. Like,
oh yeah.
Like I've played this game for hundreds upon hundreds of hours. I have no guarantee getting past floor 10, like ever.
Oh no,
like,
no, absolutely
or even where full Freetritis is, where floor 7 where the blooms are. Like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, we have to allocate 3 hours because the race ends after 1 hour, and it could, since it's a best of 3, it could go up to 3 hours. But realistically, 1 hour or 1 hour and a half is pretty much the time it'll take for pretty much every match. But we have to allocate more, of course, because of that. So yeah.
Yeah, looks like send Thea a message here again.
Yeah, sure. So Palmer is saying that he really he wants to practice and see the game more. I think he's got the crave.
Yeah, this is a very addictive game.
Yes, it is.
Especially if you have a little bit of like, a lot of people are very much risk takers.
Yes.
And you will lose a lot if you play that way, but you can earn so much more if you go up just one more floor. Just, is that egg that you're looking for on the next floor? You don't know.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely a really... Yeah, the cursed one would definitely... There's Fee throwing Queenie all the way across the room there.
Okay, I don't know if I have the right to do that in the end, but I will. And if I couldn't, then it's too bad. But I've put a link to the Discord in the chat right now. So if you guys want to check what the speedrun community is, or just casually run it, come and say hi. If you just want to look at people playing the game, same thing. We will have stream announcements for every runners that run Azure Dreams. So yeah, I think you guys might appreciate what there is. And if you want to see more of the tournament, there will be an announcement there for the next few matches.
Yep, I think the next one's at 6 a.m. Eastern, I think, tomorrow.
Yes. Well, good luck to the Darcis. Yeah, we have a runner from Australia, and the other one is from East Coast in the US. So they decided it's going to be tomorrow morning, but for one of the runners, like 6 a.m., so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a...
And we have 2 matches back-to-back Friday night, so in Eastern Time, EST, so it's 8 and 11, but there might be closer to one another as soon as one is ended, where we go to the second one, probably.
Yeah. So we have quite the because we're going to try to do all of our matches or everyone's supposed to do their matches from when we announce the bracket on Sunday. They have until Saturday, everyone to do their matches.
Yeah.
And
so it's one Sunday to another, yeah. So the bracket will advance one step every week. So every Sunday we make the bracket advance one step, and everybody has a week to play its matches. So there are 4 matches to kick off the tournament, but then there'll be more because there'll be a loser bracket. There's 4 people with buys right now, so like me and Shawnee are not playing this week, but we're definitely playing next week. So it's going to be fun. And yeah, if you've played Ancient Cave from Lufia 2, this is absolutely a game like this one. So this is
Probably
really cool
a little
game.
bit more punishing, because with that one you can get away from the battles and kind of get away from the monsters. The monsters will move you on this one.
Hey, Palmer!
Oh my goodness, dude! First of all, I'm so sorry, guys. I wanted to last longer. I'm so sorry.
That was so good, though. Like, I've seen you play yesterday, and you tried to run away from enemies, and today, man, you were looking like a pro.
Dude, when I threw that egg and it did like 60 damage, I was like, well, why didn't I know this already?
Egg bombing is pretty good strategy.
That was crazy.
Yes, exactly. You'll know for next time.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like we said, this game is very addictive, and like the second you turn it off, you sit about or you think about it for a little while. All of a sudden, oh, I could do one more run. I can. And playing it casually is great as well. It's a wonderful.
I'm already like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm just gonna boot this up on my stream and play around, because it was crazy. I don't think I'm new to the mystery dungeon thing. Never, but. Like, every time I moved a tile and a monster appeared, like, time stood still. And I was like, oh god, what do I do?
Not all the mystery dungeon games are like, Azure Dreams is pretty brutal. Like, every monster is a boss fight. You have to think on your toes, be quick, because this is still a speedrun. But you have to say, like, okay, what can I do? What do I have in my inventory? Where can I move? What can I do with CUNY? Like, there's so many things you can do. And like you said, Palmer, you've played this game like, I don't know, 7 times, and you've never seen the same setup, and you never died the same way.
I played a couple hours yesterday and kept dying and resetting, and then obviously today, and I was like, all right, I think I have a grasp for all the surprises. And then I put the wand on, and it was like, too bad, buddy, you're cursed. I was like, oh no, this is floor 1, what do I do?
That was pretty much
it happens. Unfortunately, it happens.
And in the first one, like, I got to floor, I went up after the tutorial floor, and then the next floor was right next to me, and I was like, oh, bet, this is nice. And then I got there, and it was one of those fire guys, and I was like, this is the worst thing that could ever happen.
Yes, and it uses his spells on you, so it was like half your health away in one hit.
I know, I was like, oh man, so literally anytime that like something would appear, I would just open my menu and be like, all right, what can I afford to toss at this guy this time? And then I found some sand or something, right?
Yes.
And I was like, okay, so I read it, and it was like, you can use a ball an extra time or something. I was like, all right.
Yes.
And then I picked up this ball that weakened enemies, and I was like, oh, perfect. Well, then afterwards, I realized the fire is also a ball.
Yes.
I could have had 2 fires.
Yes. Oh,
actually, that could have saved me.
Palmer, the fireball you get on first floor, which is you always get, is 5 charges.
Yeah. Actually,
wait, is it really?
Yeah, you can use it 5 times. Pretty much most of the time we use it for our first skill to make sure we get to level 2 quickly.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Like, I was typing in my bird's name, and I was like, well, let me take this second to go open up this little footnotes of guides that you guys had, and I was like looking over, and I was like, I don't see anywhere about what it says when you get warped and your bird is gone. Like,
also in the call as well as full featureitis. Congrats on winning.
Hey, congratulations! Thank you so much for playing. I had a blast.
I had a really good time too. This was super fun.
After you get fun, seriously, you played super well, Fee. You played defensively, but you always moved on. So you regenerated between floors. You took time to make a little bit of extra XP, and you took each and every fight head-on, but you checked in your inventory and used your item very well. Pretty good play.
Yeah, I was really proud of how I managed to play today. I was trying not to panic when all the blooms came at me.
Yeah. There was
Twice?
like 5 of them. That was crazy.
Oh,
And then
it's
you
the
get the
worst,
crack
and I
trap,
hate them.
and then you're in front of
And then
them,
right
and
at the end on the second match when I had all the... I thought I was being clever by poisoning a Manova, and that's not what you should do.
Yeah, no.
No, definitely not. They multiply like crazy.
Yes, each and every time they take damage, they can multiply.
Oh, is that the yellow pudding guys?
Yes, the yellow pudding guys.
I was like, where do they keep coming from, man?
Each and every time they get it, they have a chance to multiply, but the multiplied version is weaker.
Oh man!
Don't use poison on them. It's not a good idea.
No,
Yeah.
I had 5 of them following me.
I used my weekend ball, and I was like, that's a 300 IQ play. Turns out it really didn't make any difference.
No, it levels down the enemy. It's not.
Yeah, it didn't do anything, man. I thought if you used it, it weakened everybody in the whole floor. And so at first one I just chucked into the abyss.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But to wrap things up here, definitely follow both runners.
Yes.
I think Professor Como will be streaming this game more often, most likely. He's probably going to be addicted to it if we're not careful. And Futritis has definitely been practicing quite a lot recently as well.
Yes. Also, give a follow for Shawnee. He's gonna play this game a lot. So the other commentator,
Yes.
definitely a really good player of the games. You have had a few world record. I think you still have one. No.
I was the one who pioneered Bookless, and I should
Yes.
not have. Bookless is definitely a whole different idea of a speedrun compared to what even any percent is.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's and likewise, Sand Knight has been streaming this, and he's the head of speedrunning community, so definitely give him a follow as well.
Thank you very much,
So-
Shawnee. So thank you very much, Palmer, Futritis, Shawnee. Thank you for the whole speed gaming community. You guys are awesome. There was a little problem with stuff, and they just made this match happen in less than an hour. This is crazy. And
Yeah,
I want to
it's super
thank
supportive.
Kirito, I want to thank Fizzle, I want to thank JC and everyone that I don't know your name but worked on that. This is so appreciated.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for letting me. I had never even heard of the game before, and you guys invited me to do it, and now I got to figure out how to work it into my schedule. But congratulations again on your win here. It was really fun. I had a blast. So, Featureitis.
And you're still in the tournament as well. You still
yeah.
So you're in the losers bracket, but that doesn't mean you're out yet at all. And
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure
yeah.
you're practicing.
I'm calling it right now. We hitting at least floor 20. Calling it.
I'll see you.
Yes.
I'll see you back in the finals at the end of the.
Oh yeah. But
There you go.
rematch. I'm coming.
Yeah, rematch. Come on.
All right. So thank you guys so very much. I think this is going to be that for us tonight. But thanks for everybody that came in chat too to watch this. This was a blast, and see you around at the next match.
Yep. Everyone, take care.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Everyone, have a great night, day, whatever.